yeah, that's pretty much how it started. Hi guys, I got a battle here against Edgar, and yeah, you guys should all go check him out. His link will be in the description. But anyways, we both had new teams. We wanted to test them, so we did. This team is made around Arceus Psychic, and before that one guy says anything about how Arceus Psychic is inferior to Mewtwo, I know this, but Shanes and I did this thing where we each gave each other an Arceus type, and we had to build a team around it. This is that team. I was testing it. Edgar was actually the first person who I played with it. But, Choice Scarf, Genesect, Haban Palkia, Spike, Rapid Spinning Fortress, Physically Defensive Groudon, Sub-Rules Dual Stab Zekrom is a problem. Just saying. And, Arceus Psychic. So, let's just jump right into battle. He's gonna lead out with Groudon, and I'm gonna lead out with my Genesect. And literally, this Groudon is the only thing stopping my Zekrom from sweeping. It really is, because if I can get up a sub, everything is 2-hit KO'd or O-Code by Fusion Bolt or in Dragon Claw appropriately. So, instead of going for the U-turn, which he probably predicted me to do first turn, I'm just going to go straight for the Ice Beam. I mean, I'm at +1 Ice Beam, pretty strong, as it does about 80-75% to the Groudon. Definitely going to be useful for later on, because again, this thing can now no longer switch in on Zekrom unless I do choose to go for Fusion Bolt. He does get up his rocks here, and I know that he's not going to want to stay in and take another Ice Beam, so I'm going to switch out right into my Arceus Psychic here. I figured I didn't really know what he wanted to switch into, but I'm pretty sure either way I should be able to hopefully either set up on it or possibly just find out what he wants to switch into initially. He's going to choose his P2. I don't want to stay and get Toxic or T-Waved. I actually didn't think of T-Wave until right now when I brought in my Genesect. I was like, God, don't T-Wave me, I'm Choice Scarfed. But he does just end up going for the Toxic. Not a big deal because I'm a Steel type. I do get the attack raise, so I'm going to go straight for the U-turn. And not only that, but it also tells me that this P2 is a little more specially oriented, or specially defensive, I should say. So I'm gonna switch out into my Groudon. I figured he would probably want to go for T-Bolt, maybe Toxic, predicting my switch, but he does just end up going for the recover there. I honestly kind of don't mind my Groudon being Toxic. From the looks of his teams, it didn't seem to be like extremely useful. So I think I just stay in here now and get up my Stealth Rocks if I remember correctly, as he does bring in his Fortress, predicting that. I don't have a spin blocker on this team, so unfortunately I am going to have to let him spin my hazards away. But that's one of the reasons I don't carry a spin blocker on this team, is for yeah, I guess chances like this. When I know he's going to Rapid Spin, I can bring in my my Zekrom, and I will be able to get up a sub, but he chooses not to Rapid Spin right there. He chooses to go for Spikes instead, as now he's going to go for the Rapid Spin, as I will be able to get up a sub. And basically now, at this point, it is the question of what he wants to let go. I went for Fusion Bolt here, like a complete idiot. I had no reason not to Dragon Claw. I predicted the switch in. It was a very obvious switch in, but I went for Fusion Bolt. I guess I just didn't feel like playing risky. But I absolutely had no reason to Dragon Claw there, because it would have done a substantial amount to that Fortress either way. But that one turn of leftovers is showing right here, because he will be able to take this hit, and he'll be able to roar me out. And he roars me out into my Fortress, if I remember correctly. And I've played Edgar multiple times. I kind of know how Edgar plays for the most part, so I know right here he's not going to switch out into his Giratina, which is why I'm just going to click Rapid Spin here, knowing that I will safely be able to get over Rapid Spin, because again, I know he will not want to switch out, as he does just end up going for the Earthquake. And even though I'm more specially defensive, this still doesn't take that Earthquake that well. That just kind of goes to show you the natural power that Groudon has. But a kind of annoying thing here, I guess you could say, is I can't really do anything back to him. I think this Fortress is running like Volt Switch, Toxic, Spikes, and Rapid Spin. So I am just going to switch out into my own Groudon. Again, like I said before, it is kind of the most useless thing on my team, as he makes a very good play here. He gets up his Stealth Rocks, predicting some kind of switch. Very good play on his part. As I believe here, I did just end up going for the Save Earthquake, just wanting to take it out, because again, I know that is the only thing standing in my Zekrom's way. But he does choose to bring in his Fortress here, and you know, takes that rather well. I'm guessing he's a little bit more specially defensive. Maybe, yeah, that's specially defensive damage, I would go to say. But I'm going to switch out here. I'm going to go into my Palika, because I figured he might want to Volt Switch, and at the same time, I figured he might want to also try to get up his hazards of some sort. But he makes a switch out here. He switches out into his Ho-Oh. I'm not entirely sure what he was predicting, to be honest, but I believe I just go for the safe Hydro Pump, because I honestly had no reason not to. And as you guys are about to see, I am going to miss my Hydro Pump. It's not a huge deal at all, because that P2, he told me at the end, is max HP, max special defense, and it would take that Hydro Pump like a monster, because it's in the sun, and again, P2 is just very bulky. But he is going to end up going for the Ice Beam here. Does quite a bit to my Groudon, considering, you know, he's not invested in special attack, and, you know, P2 has, like, okay special attack, but not the best. But, I really want to keep that Ho-Oh at bay, so that's why I went for my rocks here again. And again, I really did not care about my Groudon this match that much, because its main purpose and only purpose is to really set up the sun, which is why I just fodder it off here. Not only that, but it gives me a safe opportunity to bring in my Genesect. So, I was kind of hoping maybe he would switch out, but then again, I should have figured by how he was playing earlier, he wouldn't want to switch out. So I'm just going to go for the Iron Head here, just kind of switching up moves, hoping for a flinch, because I figured he would most likely want to recover. As this turn, he does choose to bring in his Groudon as Death Fodder. Good play on his part, because now he's going to get a safe switch into whatever he wants. If he brings in his Ho-Oh, that could definitely be a problem, but then again, rocks are up. But even then, I'm pretty sure Ho-Oh could easily take a couple Iron Heads from Genesect. Now, this play right here on my end was really stupid. I know he's gonna Toxic, he knows he's gonna Toxic, we all know that Edgar's gonna go for Toxic, but for some reason I felt like me bringing in Zekrom, like me not bringing in Zekrom was so obvious, that's why I did it, and he does just end up going for the Toxic, and this is so stupid because I basically just stopped my own Zekrom from sweeping at this point. I can't really sub because this is a Life Orb Zekrom, so I'm gonna be losing HP way too fast, so I'm going to go for the Roost here. I just really want to get my HP back up to full. I'm thinking this thing could probably put in work, just not behind a sub, as he is going to choose to get off a Rapid Spin here, getting rid of my rocks. But Zekrom is in. I'm not too worried about his Ho-Oh coming in. If he did bring his Ho-Oh in on a Zekrom, it'd just be really odd. Fusion Bolt is a thing that is going to occur right now. I'm going to slap him with a Fusion Bolt. This is Adamant Life Orb, and it takes that thing way too well. Oh my goodness. But he is going to choose to get up another layer of spikes. And the problem is now is that I'm realizing he's getting up a lot of hazards, and not only that, but with Zekrom having, or being poisoned, I should say, and Life Orb, it's really going to cut down on my survivability. So I am going to bring in my Fortress here to bait him to thinking I'm going to go for the Rapid Spin. But like I said before, I play Edgar enough, so I know this time he is going to bring in his Giratina for sure, which is why here I am going to end up going for the Vault Switch, predicting the Giratina switch in, because I really just play Edgar quite a bit. So, brings in his Giratina, like I said before, I am going to go for the Vault Switch to get the switch-in-ish, because I cannot touch his Giratina. Toxic is pointless because it has Rest. I can't Rapid Spin on it. Setting up Spikes would have been a nice thing, but looking at what he had left, I'm pretty sure it wasn't such a big deal that I got up Spikes or not, but I'm going to go out into my Palkia because I can just threaten him directly. And, most Giratinas tend to be physically defensive. Sometimes they are especially defensive. I'm pretty sure this one would be like more physically defensive because it's P2, especially defensive. I don't know. That's just how it worked out in my head. So I'm just gonna fire off a Spatial Rend here, knowing even if he does bring in his Fortress, I can probably 2-hit KO it with Spatial Rend from the range of HP that he's at. And he holds on by just a teeny tiny little sliver, as again, I'm just going to go for a Spatial Rend to take him out. I also wanted to play this Palkia more in the sense that I am choice locked in some way, because when I use Haban Palkia, I tend to make it very obvious that I'm Haban, not really choiced in either way. So, I'm going to switch out here because he brings in his P2, and I'm just going to go right out into my Genesect. And, I know he's going to go for Recover, and here I was also kind of contemplating whether or not I should Explode, because I am at +1 in attack, because, again, his P2's defenses are lower than his special defenses, so I thought about it, but then I was like, he might bring in Giratina, so let's just U-turn or Iron Head to play it safe. I can't remember if I U-turned or I Iron Head here. I think I went for U-turn. Did I go for U-turn? No, I just went for the Iron Head, so I just did end up going for the Iron Head here. It does quite a good chunk to the Giratina, but I'm pretty sure from that damage he is more physically defensive. Yeah, but alas, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what kind of damage variation just went on right there. Like, he literally took like 25 the first time, and then that was like another whole 30. It was ridiculous damage variation, but it drags me out into my Arceus Psychic here. I figured he was gonna go for rest, which is why I went for the Calm Mind here, knowing that I can kind of get a setup on this thing going. This Arceus Psychic, it's a more bulky variant. Generally Arceus Psychic is like max speed, max special attack, but I wanted a bulkier variant. And I've got Recover, Calm Mind, Psy Strike, no, Psy Shock, that's what it's called, and Focus Blast. So, I was tempted to set up more, I really was, but I didn't want to risk, sleep turns and such. You know, what with him pulling with Rest Talk and such. So I'm just gonna fire off a safe Psy Strike as he ends up pulling the rest, I believe. Kind of unfortunate for him, but then again, like I said, I really didn't want to, like, you know, get up to +2 or +3 only to have him roar me out. So that's kind of my reasoning for just spamming Psy Shock here. I honestly just did not, I just didn't want to get dragged out and have all this set up for nothing. I didn't want to in vain set up. But now he ends up pulling the Will-O-Wisp. Not a huge deal because 1, I have Recover. 2, Burn is like steady residual damage. It always does like 12.5% every turn, whatever it is. And I hit off the special end of the spectrum, so I'm not worried about much right now. But he's gonna go out and do his Genesect now, and I kind of forgot about this thing. Like, I wrote down his team, but like, I don't know, I didn't think it would be such a big threat as it was. As here I am gonna go for the Calm Mind, predicting him to go for the rest, but he made this great switch in right here into his Genesect. But again, I kind of had to figure out what I wanted to take a U-turn. I guess my best thing at this time to take a U-turn would be my Arceus Psychic, because that way I get Switch-Inish off of his Switch-Inish, which means I can bring in whatever I feel is appropriate to what he brings in. And I believe he just ends up bringing in his P2. And because we saw earlier, he's less physically defensive than specially defensive. I'm just gonna bring in my Genesect here, kind of as a one last hurrah. And I figured now I would go for Explosion, but he predicts that very well, or he just wants me to tank the hits or something, and he's just gonna go right out into his Giratina, as I do just end up going for the Explosion. To be totally honest, I probably should have gone for the Iron Head or the U-turn, just something. I don't think Exploding was my best play right there, to be honest. But anyways, like I said before, I just exploded. I really don't have much left. I got this thing and I got my Palkia left, and with Sour here being poisoned, I can't really do a whole lot. I mean, he's gonna switch out here. I believe he goes into his Genesect, and I do end up predicting this. And I'm just gonna go for the Fusion Bolt if I remember correctly, or do I go for the Roost? I might have gone for the Roost. Yeah, I just went for the Roost here because I figured I would have maybe. I figured at this point Zekrom was kind of like my last hope at any chance of winning, even though I am poisoned and I do have a Life Orb. I figured as long as I didn't like need to set up a sub, I would be okay, if that makes any sense in your mind. But I know he's gonna go for Ice Beam, so I'm pretty much just gonna fodder out my Fortress at this point because I can't really get a spin off at this point. And not only that, but if he wants to lock himself in Ice Beam, I can bring in my Palkia safely, knowing I can take one, and I should be able to retaliate back with a Fire Blast. So again, I wasn't too worried about that. So I am going to bring in my Palkia here after I lose my Fortress, and I do believe I just end up going right out for the Fire Blast because I really did not have a reason not to. But he switches out here. I guess he was incompetent that an Ice Beam would kill from that range, and he does end up going out into his little Porygon 2 here. And this Porygon 2 has just been a nuisance this whole battle. Like, it works well, like better than I thought it would, but still, I'm gonna go for Fire Blast. That does absolutely nothing to this thing. Like, seriously, like, this is a Palkia, man. And he doesn't even take me out with Ice Beam, which I just thought was kind of funny. But I am gonna go for another Fire Blast here. Does, again, a nice chunk, but still, he's gonna take me out with an Ice Beam this turn. And all I have left now is my Zekrom. And I know I can easily take this thing out with a Fusion Bolt. So I believe that is what I end up going for here, the Fusion Bolt, because I don't think anything on his team, the remainder of his team, wants to take a Fusion Bolt. And if he did want to switch out into Genesect predicting my Dragon Claw, I would be able to clean Oko this thing. Clean. Easy. One-hit KO. Like, Zekrom's just way too powerful, man. Like, I've never really used Zekrom before, but after this match, I have, like, a newfound respect for it. So, go for Fusion Bolt, Adamant, Life Orb. I don't know if he's the defense downing nature or not. I don't think we ever found out this battle because I don't think I brought my Genesect in on his Genesect. So, easy take him out with a Fusion Bolt, like I said before. And now he is going to bring in his Ho-Oh, I believe. Yep. And it was at this point where I thought my Zekrom had max HP for some weird reason, because I think I ran a max HP one with no speed, so I was like, wait a minute, how did I outspeed you? And then I was like, oh, never mind, I got speed investment. It's all good. So I'm just going to go for a Fusion Bolt, because pretty much that's all I could do. If he went for Substitute there, he easily could have taken me out. But if he went for like an attacking move like Sacred Fire or Brave Bird, and if I roosted, I may or may not have had a chance to actually win this. I don't really know. But anyways, 2-0 loss, Edgar's favor. Good game, Edgar. Really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this team. I really did like it a lot. Expect a lot more from it. I'll probably switch it up, try like actually Mewtwo there after me and Shane's have our battle, because I think this is a rather interesting team to say the least. I tend to play more of a stall style, and this is more offensive, so I think it'll be a good change for me. But anyways, I'm all done here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later. So until then, guys, bye.